better believe I'm gonna save because I suck at this game. Especially, oh, after the last bits, oh my god, I'm stupid. Apparently, I guess I can't. I hate the picture ones because they expect you to be like super specific. I know the point I'm trying to get across. It's just, it's like, nope, you gotta like click on that exact location or it's a failure. It's like, hello, I hope your day is well. I'm trying to force myself to be more energetic, else my mental state won't be able to keep up. My heart's thumping like crazy. Might as well have a laid-back attitude and go ahead with high energy. Yaha! But be careful that your batteries don't run off, and for various reasons. And just like I say each time, don't forget to save frequently. Dots. I never expected the funhouse itself would be the ultimate weapon. Oh well, let's just press on ahead. Wow, Chiaki, you took like 2 seconds there to like, you know, of a shocked phase and then just moved right on ahead. Like, oh, yep, it's the, I mean, I believe that. It's like, okay. Is that really alright to accept the situation so easily? I mean, that's not what's important. The thing that's really important is the killer who used the building structure, like who's Nekomaru's murderer. But is it really okay to believe the building is the weapon? Nagito said it, you know? There's no way I'd lie at such an important moment. I don't want to die either. What happened to the bastard who kept saying how much he didn't mind dying? He's right. There was a time when I thought I could become a stepping stone for your hopes, but I'll sincerely retract that remark. Retract? I'm disappointed too, you know. If this was a murder for the sake of hope, I'd easily sacrifice myself. You say such falsehoods, per usual. There's no such thing as a murder for the sake of hope. Murder is simply murder. Forcibly sacrificing others for one's own desires, even one as diabolical as I would avoid such actions. I see. It's fine. Let's just leave him alone and find out who killed Coach Nekomaru as fast as we can. Just so you know, it's not like I'm getting hungry or anything, you know. Akane, you're drooling waterfalls. Nagito, as usual, I can't tell what he's thinking. I have no idea if he's serious or not. Anyway, if the killer used the building structure, why don't we think about it how he used it? How they killed Nekomaru? It might be better if we clarify the cause of death first, don't you think? Nekomaru's cause of death, huh? The blow to the head. He was horribly damaged, as if he'd beaten senseless by a blunt object. But if he was beaten with a blunt object, it wouldn't be a kill that utilized the building structure. So what was Nekomaru's cause of death? He died by falling. Gravity killed him. Better watch out for that gravity. That's it. I think he might have died from falling. Died from falling. If the funhouse's secret is that it's the structure where both towers and houses are vertically connected, then the killer made use of the height and caused Nekomaru to die from falling. Are you saying they pushed him off? Where'd they push him off from? That I don't know yet. Don't just make things up when you don't know the method. Where in that building would he even be able to push someone off in the first place? It might be possible in the tower. You could push someone off from the 4th floor when the elevator's on the 1st floor. Did you forget that how the elevator functions? When it's on the 1st floor, the door to the 4th floor won't open. Say he died from falling is truly incorrect. You should burn in the flames of hell. But my gut is going crazy right now. I'm actually trusting Akane on this one. She's going somewhere, boys. If Nekomaru died from falling, where did the killer shove Nekomaru from? If I'm going to reach the truth behind this incident, I need to solve that mystery first. When the elevator's on the 1st floor, you can't go through the door on the 4th floor, huh? It'd be impossible to shove a victim from up there. Then how about this? After locking Nekomaru inside the elevator, they moved the elevator to the 4th floor, from the 4th floor to the 1st floor, and made use of a drop. Hold on, did you forget how the elevator has a sensor? It wouldn't move if it detected a moving object inside. Soichigondo! His functions stop after you press his button. That sensor should only work if something is moving. If Nekomaru wasn't moving inside, the elevator sensor wouldn't have detected anything. Could it be his sleep mode? When Nekomaru's goodnight button is pressed, all of his functions shut down and he enters sleep mode. If he's in sleep mode, the elevator sensor wouldn't have noticed him, right? I see. So that's how. However, even if they moved the elevator in that manner, Nekomaru would have just moved along with it. There would have been no drop for him to fall and die from. Yes? That's what I was about to explain before Kazuichi interrupted me. Silence, pest! Now you're calling me a pest? A way to create a drop inside the elevator while Nekomaru is still in it. Chiaki seems to have an idea, but what could that way be? Yeah. If you arrange it in a certain way, you can cause a drop with the elevator. So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right? That arrangement is... The hammer is suspicious! Huh? Is it about the time we went over the pillar again? What about the oil on the floor? The doorknob, the doorknob seems suspicious. Soria-san, they tied him to the doorknob. That's why it broke off. Did the doorknob have scrape marks on it? That might have been where it got scraped up by the wire. Is that the same wire that was tied around Nekomaru? The tip of the wire was tied in a loop. If the elevator moved while that loop part was hung from that doorknob, if they did something like that, he would have been suspended in midair. That's right, he was suspended in midair. Huh? The killer tied up Nekomaru with the wire while he was in sleep mode. I'm sorry we took your thunder, Chiaki. I know that's why you're probably mad. Tied the tip of the wire into a knot and hung from the doorknob on the 4th floor. With that, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor Great Tower. And there he laid sleeping, suspended. And suspended Nekomaru in midair. That's right! He was so well hung! Kinda like... You better not finish that sentence! Was he gonna say Ibuki? Oh shit. Oof. Yikes. The killer took advantage of the elevator's unique feature. Only the floor moves. By doing that, they created a drop so Nekomaru could fall to his death. Oh, you think you could challenge me? You gonna fuck on me, brother? So what if they created a drop? There's no way you can make him fall and die with just that. Why? If Nekomaru's suspended in midair like that, then how do you get him to fall? Because even if he's suspended in midair, he won't die if he doesn't actually fall. I mean, that's actually a good point. You make a good, valid point, but I have a contradiction. There's no one in the tower to push him off. There's no one that could do that. I agree with what Kazuichi is... I agree with what Kazuichi is wondering. It seems that the difference in elevation inside the tower was used to kill Nekomaru. I need to find the answer to counter Kazuichi's remarks. I'm sorry, I gotta... even if they suspended Nekomaru, how do they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him off. And there's no one that could do that. It doesn't mean someone had to push him off. It's possible that he fell on his own. What? Nekomaru fell on his own? Nekomaru would still be in sleep mode. His alarm clock woke him up when he freaked out. What do you think would happen if Nekomaru woke up while he was suspended upside down in midair? What are you saying? Like, how would he wake up? His alarm inside his body, as long as it was armed, it would have deactivated his sleep mode. Which means the killer set an alarm before they suspended Nekomaru. If you woke up from an alarm and realized you were hanging upside down and had no clue why, you would have struggled. If something like that would happen, you would start panicking a lot, right? Instinctively, your body would start moving. Nekomaru probably did exactly that. And broke the doorknob. And then, in order to make him fall from the force he was generating, the wire that hung from the tip of the doorknob would easily slip off. In actuality, the scrape marks caused by the wire were near the tip of the doorknob, right? But Nekomaru didn't fall because the wire came off, right? He flung the whole doorknob off. He fell because the entire doorknob came off because he jiggled it during daily life, remember? He like slammed the shit out of it and probably loosened it. When Nekomaru woke, he must have struggled so much more than expected and caused the doorknob to break off. Was that expected of the killer too? Well, that's probably it. If they knew it'd leave behind evidence like that, they would have at least tried to do something to cover it up. The killer didn't expect the doorknob to come off. The reason that even happened was because he jiggled it. In that case, I shall use my full power! With a fierce roar, Nekomaru put all his power into grabbing the doorknob with both hands. But, clatter, 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 clatter. Not yet. Here it comes. The incredible strength of 1 million horsepower. Wait, isn't it creaking? If you break off the doorknob, we'll be stuck here. If that's really what it was, then that's the clue Nekomaru left for us to find. I see, so that's how Nekomaru fell to his death. Do you finally understand now? Yeah, it appears it's just as Miss Sonia said. I'm just a pest. No, I'm not just a pest. I'm a total fucking pig. Isn't that right, Miss Sonia? I'm a fucking pig. You could say so. No, I believe you gave it your all. Hey, why aren't you teasing me anymore? This guy, he gets off on this. So thanks to that alarm, Nekomaru ended up falling while he was hanging upside down. That doesn't mean he just crashed straight into the floor, of course. You know that too, right? It doesn't mean Nekomaru crashed straight into the floor. The moment Nekomaru fell, the only thing I could think of was he collided with the pillar, and that was the crashing noise we all heard. When Nekomaru fell to the floor, he ended up colliding with the pillar. Isn't that right? Finally, the pillar! So that's how the pillar shattered, and why the oil was spilled all over the place. I told you the pillar was the weapon. My gut was totally right. Well, the pillar was a bonus. It's not even clear if the killer intended that or it was just a coincidence. At this point, it is quite difficult to find a clue that would lead to the killer. Then, what about the alarm? I'm positive the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m. And if we map that out right there... Hold on, baby gangsta. Stop calling me baby gangsta. What did you just say? Did you say the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.? Didn't you check yourself? Nekomaru's alarm was set for 7:30 a.m. Nah, that's impossible, because even though I slept in a little, I still got to the tower at 7 in the morning. Now that you mention it, so did I. There's no way I could be late for Monokuma Tai Chi, so I left Grape Tower before 7 a.m. Boyos, why did Nagito have Fuyuhiku check the clocks? And if we found Nekomaru's body there, it would have been before 7:30 a.m. alarm went off. It appears yet another contradiction has been birthed. How were you able to discover Nekomaru died at 7:30 a.m. when you went to the tower at 7? That's what I want to know. Another mystery I don't understand. Seriously, it's just one after another. But I can't choke up at a time like this. Just a little more and I'll be able to reach the truth. There should definitely be a clue breaking through this contradiction. My voice is getting more and more like spit-filled. I apologize. We headed to before 7 a.m. I am certain. But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m. Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right? His time of death and the time of his body was discovered. One of those must be an illusion. The killer probably did some tampering. They messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest. So Ichigondo! You can't tamper with his clock. His clock was right. No, the clock inside his chest was a radio clock, so it would have been impossible to mess with. So you're saying there's no way the killer could have tampered with the clock? Maybe the clock Miss Sonia saw was the one that got tampered with. The clock inside Grape House? No, I checked the clocks inside the fun house. Oh, that's what I asked you to do. So you really listened to me and checked on all the clocks. And because of that, I can confidently declare that all the clocks had the same time displayed. Then there's no possibility that the time was tampered with. Then we must doubt the human's testimony. Please believe me, we are not lying. Then maybe it's a misunderstanding. I never misunderstand. I'll crush you with his dog food. The time-related contradiction, I don't think it should... I should doubt the testimonies. I should doubt the clock. There's no mistake that something was done, but what was it? Dots. Perhaps we've overlooked something. Maybe we're misunderstanding something. If I focus and think, I should be able to find the answer to that mystery. Oh no. Kobe! Yo, check out these moves, brother. Tony Hawk ain't got nothing on this shit. Because this whole time, again, we've been falling for the killer's trap. They tampered with both the house's clocks. That's why we've had the wrong time. Monokuma can attest to that because none of us showed up for Tai Chi. You said you checked all the clocks inside the building. Isn't that right, Fuyuhiku? Yeah, none of the clocks had the wrong time. But what if all those clocks had been messed with? What? All the clocks? So even if you checked all the clocks inside the building, there's no way you would have noticed it. I see. So the killer messed with the time inside the whole building by changing all the clocks. So that's what it was. There's no way I would have noticed that. This is truly fantastic. Now's not the time to be pleased. More importantly, how much was the time off? She's right. That's still the main problem. I need to clarify how much of the time was off after the killer messed with the clocks. That's definitely the next mystery. I'm going to reach the truth in one go. If the time in the building was all messed up, there's no way you could rely on Nekomaru's radio clock. Then the time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m. The problem is, what time would be 7:30 be? Our time? Are there any clues that could be used to narrow this down? What about the sound when he fell? Sonia Sansera! Also, I always forget, I don't think I ever mentioned this, but Teru's like poster has a fork and knife. I don't know if I ever mentioned that. It's kind of funny. Everyone else has X's and he gets a fork and a knife. That's pretty funny. That's right. We should have heard the sound he made when he fell. Wasn't it that rumbling noise? Rumbling? I thought that was just an earthquake, so I went back to sleep. Was that the sound when Nekomaru fell? Well, his huge body fell from the 4th floor to the 1st floor and hit that, and the pillar fell with it. It's obvious we'd hear the impact sound. We heard that noise too. It was when we all gathered in Strawberry House Lounge. Dots. Was it? What was it, Sonia? Oh, well, that sound everyone heard. I did not hear it at all. Huh? You probably didn't hear it because you were sleeping. I could not sleep at all. I was awake the whole time with my hunger pangs. There's nothing to worry about. What's important is the rumbling noise anyway. If we use the rumbling sound as a reference, we might be able to figure out how much of our time was off. I heard the sound probably around 5:30 in the morning. Huh? You can tell? I instantly woke up and left my room, and that's when I saw the clock in the lounge, so it's 2 whole hours we've been off. Excellent work, Akane! If the rumbling sound we heard was around 5:30 a.m., it's like the answer to how much time was off is literally right in front of me, 2 hours. It is. It actually was. It's a multiple choice answer, so it's right in front of me. That's how multiple choice works. Nekomaru's alarm went off at 7:30, and if we heard the sound of his impact at 5:30, that means our time was off by 2 hours. 2 hours? That much? We were starving pretty badly. There's no way we would have noticed. Plus, the funhouse has no windows, and there weren't any Monokuma announcements either. However, for that reason did the killer alter our perception of time. The reason is obvious, so they could lure out just Nekomaru. Lure out only Nekomaru? Because that's when he left! When Fuyuhiku saw him in the lobby, he left for Monokuma Tai Chi! He was on time! The killer planned that! They fucked with all our times because he knew Nekomaru was gonna wake up! Because he has the clock in his chest! If you messed with the clocks and used that specific thing, you definitely get Nekomaru to the tower alone, right? From there, the killer's plan was a splendid success. That's all that it means. Besides messing with the time, the killer also used a specific thing. If they were trying to lure out only Nekomaru, then that specific thing was Monokuma Tai Chi. We all missed it. That's it. The killer made use of Monokuma Tai Chi activity in the morning. How did they use it? We were required to go to Great Tower every morning at 7 a.m. for that activity, right? But if they messed with all the clocks inside the building, what would that do to us? We wouldn't be able to attend on time, but that wouldn't affect Nekomaru. His radio clock had the exact time. That's right. In doing so, the killer was able to lure him to the tower by himself at that precise time. than when I witnessed Nekomaru early that morning. If I recall, you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m. And if that time was also 2 hours off, it should have been 7 a.m. Yeah, that's pretty much it. At that time, he was heading over to Monokuma Taichi right on schedule. I see. Now that I think about it, I realize what Monokuma meant when he said those words. Too early. He didn't even ask you yet. Jeez, how outrageous. I honestly didn't expect everyone to ditch Monokuma Taichi. But it turned out like this after all, so I guess it can't be helped. I told you it'd become an important clue. When you said everyone, you included us, right? We thought we came to the tower on time, but in truth, it was already way past the meeting time. Ah, geez, well, how should I put it? What was it? You know, tripping over over a foot or something like that. Are you talking about tripping over someone else's fault? Wrong! Too bad. Liar, I'm right! That's not it, it's incorrect! That's definitely the correct answer. You always get so stubborn like this. Let's just ignore the peanut gallery. Now that we found out how the killer lured Nekomaru, the number of suspects has drastically decreased. Huh? Hey, why would that decrease the number of suspects? You'll be a friggin' liar. You'll know I'm not lying when you listen to what Fuyuhiko's going to say next. Huh? What the hell do you mean? You were in the lobby that whole time. You witnessed Nekomaru going toward the tower. Did something else happen after that? Are you talking about the alarm? Alarm? A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off. Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it was. If Nekomaru died when the rumbling happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at that time is the prime suspect. Really? Was there anyone who doesn't have an alibi at that time? I remember now. The sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my lounge room, but there was one guy who never left the lounge. We were both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest room. Which means that person does not have an alibi for when Nekomaru fell. Who is it? Who is the bastard? Whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time, right? It would technically be Nagito, but I think we need to hear the full story because for me, I don't think he did it. I think there's a reason why he didn't go out. The one who wasn't there, it's you, right, Nagito? That's right, Nagito wasn't there. It was just me, Gundam, and Fuyuhiko. You didn't come out even though the alarm was going off like crazy. You weren't in your room, weren't you? If that's the case, where were you? Dots. He was asleep because he couldn't hear the sound. Please, say something. Dots. If you don't hurry up and answer, I'm gonna suicide dive you. Suplex him. If I may be frank, even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't. You couldn't? What do you mean? It is merely the foolish talk of the weak. Not only did I not hear the alarm, I never heard the rumbling sound. He couldn't? You're definitely freaking lying. No, Sonia can attest to that. However, that is also true for me. It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in the Strawberry House. But I did not hear the rumbling sound either. Is that not strange? I mean, everyone else has heard it. Gods, to be honest, it's not just them. The same goes for me too. Huh? I was in a pretty deep sleep, so I thought that's why I couldn't hear it. But it wasn't that. I probably couldn't hear it at all. Couldn't hear it? What does that mean? You still don't know. Think about what the three of us who didn't hear the sound have in common. I'm sure you'll figure it out. The only people who didn't hear the rumbling noise were Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki. The secret is what these three have in common? Could this also be the secret that points to the killer? They were all in deluxe rooms. They couldn't hear it. Because it was well ventilated and it was soundproof, I think. Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki, the three of you were staying in deluxe rooms, right? If I recall, the deluxe rooms are the ones in the back. The guest rooms are divided up by quality grade. The deluxe room is soundproof and has excellent air insulation. The standard room has so-so insulation, but it's still pretty decent. And the crummy rooms has severely low airflow and draft problems. The reason we could not hear the rumbling noise, that's right, it was because the deluxe rooms have superior sound insulation. You actually noticed that? Nice catch, Hajime. Are you using your Ultimate Reserve Corps student talent? Dots. Now then, you guys must understand now, right? The true identity of Nekomaru's killer. Hold on a sec, why does that lead to who the killer is? Well, why don't, well, the fact is just now is a very important clue and a decisive factor in identifying the killer. Decisive factor? It is, boys. Somehow I feel like I understand what Nagito means. The killer among us. The killer who murdered Nekomaru, the one person who was outside his deluxe rooms and shouldn't have heard the noise. Gundam, it was you! You shouldn't have been outside your room. You were in a deluxe room. Gundam, there's something I want to ask you. Dots. When the alarm rang in Strawberry House Lounge, you rushed over there too, right? What's wrong with that? If the bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night, it is the universe's providence to stop it. Why were you able to hear it? Hear what? I mean, you were staying in a deluxe room, right? Nagito said you were in a deluxe room in the same house as in the same floor, and he couldn't even hear it. So why were you able to hear the alarm? Huh? Now that you mention it. Gundam? Dots. There's only one possibility. You weren't in your room at that time. That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right? Dots. Gundam, you have some sort of explanation, right? Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko. Me? He was in the lounge the whole time. He couldn't have passed by without him seeing. After you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed in the lounge for a while, am I correct? Until the moment the alarm started ringing, right? If you were in that lounge for that long, the killer who had left earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back. Even though Nekomaru's murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest, the killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance. Like putting Nekomaru in sleep mode and tying him up with the wire. In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower. Which means when Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru, the killer was already at the tower. And once they tried to go back, they couldn't because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge. Dots. In their original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off. And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge. Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound, thus proving they were in their room. Just like us! The best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone to check the deluxe rooms. After all, if they personally saw the killers, sleeping in their rooms, it gives the killer a strong alibi. Unfortunately, they failed to secure that alibi because I was in the lounge. You ruined his plan. So the killer couldn't go back to the room and ended up hearing the lounge's alarm. Hey, what are you doing? That's right, ruckus. It's louder than the supreme ruler of the Netherworld billing for a sacrifice. Don't go making all of that noise all of a sudden. But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died down. If Gundam tried to hide, if those two went to his room and checked on him, he would have been found out. That would have been the worst possible outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden. If those two had just checked the deluxe rooms as planned, it would have been ideal, but how ironic. The moment Fuyuhiko set foot in the lounge, your plan was doomed. Dots. Gundam, please, can you at least say something? Dots. Answer me this, including myself and my 4 dark divas of destruction. How many ears do we possess? Huh? The answer is 10. That's right, I possess 10 ears. That means I have 5 times the hearing of normal human. The soundproof system there may as well not exist. Is that your argument? You bastard! Do you understand the situation you're in right now? Do not panic. The truth shall now commence. At this time, I left my room to go to the bathroom. By coincidence, I heard the alarm. That's right. That's all it was. As the world is always so simple. Are you saying it was just a coincidence? Isn't that timing a little too perfect? And yet, I'm being suspected by all of you. It seems I was actually horrible timing on my part. I see. You're still holding out. Well, you don't have to admit it. We're just going to decide who the killer is with a majority vote anyway. So, why don't we just go ahead and start the voting? Isn't it obvious that Gundam is the killer? Hold on a sec! You know, Hajime. The class trial is this killing. It's merely the opening act, you know. Hey! What do you mean the class trial is just an opening act? Perhaps I should say, it's just a farce. Just a boring farce. So boring, so stressful. I'm so painfully bored that I might develop stomach ulcers. Seriously, let's just hurry up and finish this before I collapse from poor health. Nagito, something definitely happened to you, didn't it? At some point during this investigation, your behavior became even weirder. What actually happened? Did you discover something? Dots. Well, let's just leave the fun for later and finish this opening act already. Ah, you keep saying he said opening act again. Please hold on. We have yet to hear Gundam's rebuttal. Dots. But he's completely shut up. Perhaps he can't argue anymore. Gundam! I was simply at a loss for words after being dumbfounded by your pathetic assumption. In fact, I shall deny your very basis. Your assumption has been wrong since the beginning. Since the beginning? Based on your assumption, I hung Nekomaru from the 4th floor of the tower and made the 4th floor descend to the 1st floor. From there, after returning to Strawberry House, I was present when the alarm in the lounge went off. Correct? Although going to and fro is busy enough as it is, how would I be able to travel between both houses anyway? I see, the contact elevator was broken. As I recall, the killer tampered with the Grape House control panel, which shut down the elevator. Plus, the stopped elevator should have been facing the Grape House side. If so, the human who used the elevator would have left it at Grape House. For these reasons, it is an indisputable fact that the killer destroyed the elevator at Grape House. And what's wrong with that? If the elevator was broken at Grape House, you wouldn't be able to return to Strawberry House. However, I was already at Strawberry House. I was present when the alarm in the lounge started ringing, which means your assumption is clearly wrong. Are you serious? And here I thought it's already been decided. Fwahaha! You have learned your lesson. Pitiful humans, you cannot overcome this contradiction. That's wrong. When something is obviously wrong, that's when a contradiction is born. There's no such thing as a contradiction that can't be overcome. Maybe they used a secret passageway. How much longer do you plan to lecture me? Why don't we stop this already? The contradiction is when something is obviously wrong. There's no contradiction I can't shoot through. If I'm going to find out what it is, for sake of everyone's hope, I'll shoot through that contradiction. The elevator was the only means of travel. No, it's not! Soichigado! You played the game too, brother. No, there should have been another way to move between the two houses without the elevator. Such a method does not exist. That's why, then why don't we ask the one person who actually used that method? It's Nagito. Remember his sudden appearance? He played the game and figured out a way through the building without using the elevator. Nagito, you should know. Huh? What are you talking about? Don't play dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time before because you used that method, right? Nagito, why are you here? Because I showed up. There's a secret passage connecting the 1st floor of Strawberry House and the 3rd floor of Grape House. Isn't that right? Dots. Jeez, once again, I let the reserve course show off. But you're right, there's the door on the floor of the Octagon, which is the 1st floor of Strawberry House. After I opened up the door and went down, surprise, surprise, I ended up in Monokuma Archive, which is on the 3rd floor of Grape House. Meaning the 3rd floor and 4th floor are actually connected? Plus, once you've cleared the final dead room once, you can pass through it as many times as you want. If they used that secret passage, they could have gone between the two houses as much as they wanted. Are you gonna contradict like you didn't play the game, brother? However, what if the killer was unaware of the existence of the final dead room? There's no way they didn't know. That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion. If you value your life, you should stop with your scrutiny. There's no way I can stop. What did you say? Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. I don't know, brother. Even if the tribute box does not exist, you could provide a suspicious wormhole. However, how frail of a thing for you to say. Vindicative of illusion. Shall I feed you my knowledge or something like that? I don't know. We're crossing swords, brother. I guess you can say we're sword fighting. I already proved the secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon. I'm sorry I can't read these, though, because I don't want to fuck up. We went to the Octagon. Don't bark, your blind confusion. Why would you have all those, the wire, the chain, the club, unless you went to the Octagon yourself? The wire was used to string up Nekomaru's body, the hammer that looked like a weapon, and the chain on the door of the tower. Those were all items that weren't in the funhouse. Where did the killer obtain them? The only place I can think of is the Octagon. There were various weapons and tools there. I'm pretty sure I saw stuff like wires, hammers, and chains too. Since those items were used at the crime, there's no way to doubt the killer went to the Octagon. If that's the case, they obviously know about the secret passage too, right? It seems this is the end. Normally we'd end up listening to Hajime lecture us about a very long summary of the case, but there's no reason to waste any more time on this opening act, so I'm going to end this right now. Hey, what are you? First of all, by messing with all the clocks in the building, Gundam tried to lure only Nekomaru. The elevator was probably broken by that point. Are you trying to steal my thunder, fuckhead? Thanks to that, Nekomaru wasn't able to go to Grape Tower, which was, and he tried going to Strawberry Tower, just like we did found out the elevator was broken. Well, it's obviously tempted that. At that time, we didn't know the two towers were the exact same place. Also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken, so he easily broke it to enter Strawberry Tower. But surprise, Gundam was waiting for Nekomaru's arrival. Hold on, if Nekomaru did go to Strawberry Tower, what would the killer have done? Their plan of balancing all the uncertainties, but even if they failed, they probably wouldn't have minded. They could have just greet someone the next morning as if nothing happened and come up with a different plan. And it was such a risky plan, they wouldn't have been able to lure him at all. I'm going to continue summarizing this case, okay? Though this Gundam successfully lured Nekomaru into the Strawberry Tower, there was no way they could fight head-on with the robotic Nekomaru, so by pressing the good button, he rendered Nekomaru powerless without fighting him. Hold on, what did you just say? That I battled? What's wrong with that? Don't mess with me! Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore these words! Why are you angry all of a sudden? You fools, do you not understand? You don't understand at all! Ha! You make me laugh! All of you this time, you still don't understand anything at all! I don't understand anything? What does that mean? Dots. It appears I cannot finish just yet. Maybe just a human destined for hell. However, I cannot finish just yet. I cannot finish! What do you intend to do? It's obvious I'm going to destroy your illusionary assumptions. Are you saying you still have more? You still have more room to argue? Your words, you said I pressed Nekomaru's goodnight button. However, that button was on the back of Nekomaru's neck. To press it, I'd have to get behind him. It's not as easy to get a drop on Coach Nekomaru. It's even more difficult if it's one-on-one situation. Just as I thought, truly frail, succumbing to so easily to this simple argument. It is just a mere illusion. If you want me to settle, if you want to set me as the killer, at least surpass my own human limitations. That's wrong, Gundam. You're the one who's wrong. Such a wonderful line. However, I cannot say that I am satisfied. Listen well. I shall teach you 2 tips for making someone admit their defeat. First, you must crush them with your own overwhelming power, and as for the other, you must provide a reason for that will persuade that human. You will not have fulfilled either of those yet. I guess you really don't want to admit it. Then just as you requested. I will provide an argument that'll leave you no choice but to be persuaded. Bring it on, Gundam. I'll fight you with my pee-pee. Maybe you didn't press up, but it was the 4 Dark Divas of Destruction! You used your powers, brother! Even if you didn't get behind Nekomaru, you should have been able to press the button on the back of his neck. As long as you had the power of your hamsters to keep that with you. Huh? Are you seriously saying he used his hamsters to press the button on the back of Nekomaru? Of course, that'd be impossible for any normal hamster, but it wouldn't be impossible for Gundams. In fact, we saw that with our very own eyes, right? Emissary Evil, in accordance with our ancient contract, the time has come to lend me your aid. Pierce through Supernova Silver Fox Sandy. Choo-choo! Click. Oh, you didn't need to flex on us with your hamsters there, brother. Ah, it pressed the button. Truly, this is the skyline lamentation art of the demon mouse. Fwahaha! Soon the door of destiny shall open. Now that you mention it, after Ibuki was killed in the music venue, one of Gundam's hamsters retrieved a piece of wallpaper from the baton lighting, right? Dots. With your friends and their exceptionally smart brains, it must have been possible to secretly go get one of them behind Nekomaru and press the button on the back of his neck. How about it, Gundam? Not just myself, but you actually brought up how splendid my subordinates are. I have no recourse but to admit it. Admit it? Did you say you admit it? It appears I've obtained a one-way ticket to hell. Fine, then you must trample me underfoot in advance. Victory can only be built upon foundation of corpses. You cannot find peace without sacrifice anywhere. Now, trample this life. Trample it through it. You were mere trash on the side of the road. Pull the curtain strings of this worthless performance with your own 2 hands. I'll close the argument on you, Gundam. I'll do you proud, I should say. And that should do it, brothers. Let's first go over the many tricks the killer prepared before they committed the crime. First, they destroyed the contact elevator. They separated Nagito and the others in Strawberry House from our group at Grape House. Next, they lured Nekomaru out by himself by turning back all the clocks in the funhouse by 2 hours. Additionally, in order to secure an alibi, the killer went to Strawberry House Lounge and set all the wall clocks alarm to 5:30 a.m. After finishing their preparations, the killer went to Strawberry Tower with the necessary tools in hand. They obtained these tools from the Octagon, which you can enter once you clear the final dead room. This means the killer discovered the secret of the funhouse faster than anybody else. That secret being Strawberry House and Grape House are actually the same building. On the morning of the incident, Nekomaru woke up and headed over to Grape Tower for a specific reason. There, Fuyuhiko who was at the lounge by coincidence, witnessed Nekomaru. According to Fuyuhiko's testimony, that was around 5 a.m., but by that point, the killer had already messed with the perception of time. In actuality, Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru at 7 a.m. That's also the same time Monokuma Tai Chi begins. Nekomaru went to Grape Tower to participate in there. However, because the contact elevator was broken, Nekomaru was unable to go to Grape Tower, so he decided to try going to Strawberry Tower. But the killer was waiting for him there. With the power of his hamsters, they were able to press the goodnight button on the back of Nekomaru's neck. This forced him to enter sleep mode, rendering him immobile. From there, the killer began preparing the use of the ultimate weapon. First, they set the alarm in Nekomaru's chest to 7:30 a.m. so he'd wake up. Then, they tied him up with a metal wire and tied the tip of the wire in a loop and hung it on the doorknob. After leaving Strawberry Tower, the killer then destroyed the door button into Strawberry Hall. They did that to keep us from entering Strawberry Hall Tower, and to keep us from discovering the secret of the building structure that they used to kill Nekomaru. Then, they used the secret octagon passageway to travel to Grape House. After arriving at Grape Hall, they pressed the button to open the door to the tower. When that happened, the elevator-like floor to the tower began descending, and Nekomaru's body was still inside, dangling upside down in midair from the wire. The killer entered Grape Tower to see if their setup was successful, and placed a hammer on the floor to make it look like the weapon, and wrapped a chain around the back door. This was done to make us falsely believe we couldn't enter the tower from Strawberry Hall. With this, the killer finished their setup and tried to go back to their room using the secret passage, so they could craft their alibi when Nekomaru died from the fall. But something unexpected happened. Fuyuhiko, who saw Nekomaru earlier, was still in the lounge. As a result, the killer couldn't return to their room, and with no other options, they ran out of time. The lounge's wall clock alarm started ringing at 5:30. Well, actually 7:30. To avoid the worst case scenario, the killer was forced to appear in front of Fuyuhiko and the others. When the wall clock's alarm rang, that was also the same time Nekomaru was waking up. He woke up while he was still hanging upside down, so he couldn't help but sway his body powerfully. Originally, the loop of the wire was only supposed to slip off the doorknob, but because there was a heavier load than expected, the doorknob ended up breaking. Nekomaru fell from the fourth floor all the way to the first floor. He crashed into the pillar, which decapitated him on impact, and died. The sound of Nekomaru's impact echoed throughout the funhouse. However, by this point, the killer's plan was about to fail, thanks to the broken doorknob and Fuyuhiko. Meaning, the killer is someone who wouldn't have heard the alarm if they were in a deluxe room. They also wouldn't have been able to return to their guest room because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge. That someone is Gundam Takana. I can't think of anyone else but you. What a fucking suave guy. Splendid. That was splendid for a mere human. You did quite well. Stop it already. Stop using weird words to avoid the truth, or I'll freaking kill you myself. I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe you killed Nekomaru. I cannot believe something like that. You don't wish to forgive me? Do you feel regret? Then finish it. Cast your impure votes for Gundam Takana. My beloved dearly foes, let the voting time begin. At least he's one of the cool ones that, like, accepts his death. I appreciate that.
This result isn't all that exciting. Now then, please pull the lever in front of you and cast your vote. Who will be chosen as the Blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Please pull the lever. Oh, crap, I bit my tongue at the most important part.
I guess we'll see you in hell, Gundam. Fwahaha!
It'd be bad if I bit my tongue again, so I'll speak slowly. Judging from the results, you guys were correct once again. Getting 4 in a row without any mistakes is a splendid achievement. That's right, the one who killed the robotic Nekomaru is in the amazing funhouse was Gundam Takana. Yay! As I said all that without biting my tongue.
Now that we've decided who the killer is, let's do the execution and get this over with already. Hold on! It's true the class trial is finished, but that doesn't mean the incident is over. We can't finish yet until we hear it from Gundam. No matter what he says, it won't change a thing. Well, I have no right to stop you either, so do whatever you like. Why do you want to talk with the one who has lost? The loser merely leaves. It would just be unnecessary for me to say anything. Is that what you'd like to say? But for honor's sake, I shall correct one thing. Correct? You guys said I made Nekomaru powerless without fighting him. That, however, is a great mistake. Huh? Nekomaru did fight. That is no mistake. And because he fought, he lost and died.
Lost and died?
If he was just trying to cling to life, there were many ways he could have done so. However, he did not allow that.
What do you mean? Explain.
Fine then I shall reveal it all. Within the final dead room, I discovered the secret of the fun house, and I deceived the killing plan utilizing that devised the killing plan utilizing that secret. By tampering with all the clocks in the building, I succeeded in luring Nekomaru to the tower. And this is what happened. Nekomaru and I were alone in the tower, standing face to face with one another. I should say, as I expected as much from Nekomaru. He's seen my subtle killing intent and instantly understood the situation. And we had ourselves a stare down. In that situation, if he wanted to run away, it would have been easy for him to do so. He could have run away or even called for help, but he did not turn his back on me. Instead, he chose to fight that risked life and death.
A fight that risked life and death?
He was serious too. He gave it his all and tried to kill me.
Huh?
If I had died instead, the mystery surrounding the case would have been even more complicated. You would have never known why the victim went to the tower by himself. Nobody would have known that the victim, me, was actually the one who planned the whole thing.
Nekomaru really did that?
Yeah. Sensing even my subtle killing intent, as expected of you, Nekomaru. This scorching, stinging, tense atmosphere. I've been a team manager for so long, I nearly forgotten this. This is great, what a comforting atmosphere. That's a great line. And what is your reason? Do you intend to resolve this situation by killing me? I am the warlock Gundam Tanaka. Heroes, lords of darkness, or even gods themselves flee from me. I need not cling to any trivial reason. I'm simply going to kill you because your very existence is an annoyance. I'll drench your soul with evil until the bitter end, huh? Splendid! In response to your spirit, I shall kill you with all my might. I won't go easy on you. Don't ever think I'm holding back. Don't waste your breath on cowardly tactics. Give me everything you've got. Nekomaru Nadia, your blood will drench the foundation of my empire.
Why? Why did you fight? We were all friends. Why couldn't you stop this? Even if both sides agreed, it was still wrong.
I will not argue. I have no intention of forcing my values upon you. However, I must say this. That's the point of living if you're just... What's the point of living if you're just waiting until you finally die? There's nothing courageous about that. That is abandonment, a mere feeling of resignation.
Wait, are you telling us to just wait until we starve to death? I'd rather have that happen to us than have our friends kill each other. I still agree with what I said. I don't know. Personally, I think I agree with the whole statement that there's a way we enter the building. There has to be a way we got out. I understand that, like, with the plan of, like, us all starving to death is pretty crazy. But, in a sense, I would rather go on dying and having everyone believe in me than to be a murderer, I guess, if that makes sense. But that's just my opinion. I understand that in this game's, and especially with the people around here, they don't really have much of an option. It's either they all die or one of them dies. It's a sacrifice. Or I guess technically two because of the trial. Huh? Do you mean that you'd rather die?
Ever since I was locked inside that building, everyone had been dominated by that feeling of abandonment. However, nothing is born from resignation. That is simply a reason not to give up. Giving up on life, that's just an insult to life itself. Have you fools heard of the term dog eat dog?
Cannibalism?
In zoology, cannibalism is a commonly observed phenomenon. Many creatures at some point in their lifespan engage in cannibalism. That is what it means to live. If you say killing for the sake of living is evil, then what would you call living up on life itself? If a world would consider that justice, then I will fight that world with every last fiber of my being. Giving up on life and choosing death is nothing but blasphemy towards life. It is a violation of the natural order. It is the arrogance of humanity.
Are you saying all that just to try to justify what you did?
But it sounds like Nekomaru felt the same too. That's why they fought, right? That man had the courage to die when he needed to die. That is why he challenged me to our battle. Regardless, as I've already said, I did not intend to force my values upon you fools. I have betrayed you all. That is the absolute truth. But even so, don't you think it's a better alternative than slowly starving to death here? That belief is why you committed your crime. Hey, what about the final dead room? Did you do the Russian roulette too? Unlike Nagito, I only did it once, but compared to my battle with Nekomaru, that was mere child's play. That's. You know, after listening to your talk for a while, I'm starting to think that, well, it's also because you unexpectedly admitted your crime without much resistance. Gundam, don't tell me you didn't sacrifice yourself for our sake, did you? I cannot believe you would ask such a foolish question. Just who do you think I am? I am Gundam Tanaka, history's greatest monster. My cursed existence is feared by all mankind. There's no way I'd sacrifice myself for the sake of you fools. I am not in a million, not in a billion, not in 10,000 billion years. Did I say 10,000? 10,000 billion years. In the name of pandemonium, it is impossible. Is that it? Then I'll just leave it at that. Now then, let us get rid of this foolish talk. It is about time the fun started. Monokuma, let us begin.
Yay, got it! I have prepared a special punishment for the ultimate breeder, Gundam Tanaka. Please wait, this is just too much. Please, Monokuma, please help Gundam.
Miss Sonia?
Please, I beg of you.
Sonia. As an act of unrefined as stopping a man from going through his death does not befit a noble such as yourself.
Gundam! It's fine to start for reals, right?
Yes, I do not mind. However, what is it, my four dark divas of destruction? Are you worried about me? Oh, my feared four dark divas of destruction. That is not like you at all. However, there is no need to fear. In this world, I am only a temporary visitor. I was simply visiting for a moment, and now that my duty is complete, I must return to the darkness. That is why, until the very end. Pride, conceit, courage, insolence, fear of nothing, daunted by nothing. Let us laugh uproariously. That is Gundam Tanaka. I shall stick to my evil until the very end. Open sesame pandemonium. I shall fill hell with true hell.
Let's give it everything we've got. It's punishment time!
Aw, what's gonna happen to his four dark divas of destruction? Are they gonna die with him? Gundam has been found guilty. Time for the punishment. Oh my god, he's gonna get stampeded. Gundam stampede. Oh. Oh. Man, why they gotta kill off the cool people? Dude, Gundam was fucking awesome. Alrighty then, my weeaboos. That's gonna end it for Chapter 4. Hope you all enjoyed that trial. Man, you know, the one thing you learn about this game is that your favorite characters are gonna die. honestly. I hate it. I hate it so much. Like, all the characters I fucking love are like either the killer or they die early on. It's like, but anyway, let's get raring to go for chapter 5 in the next one. Hope to see y'all there.